Good morning. It is Tuesday on, we have to look at my calendar right now. It's Tuesday, August 8th, 2023, and I am very excited to be joined today for another of our WiLS Taco Tuesdays. So today we have three presenters joining us from three of our esteemed vendor partners. And I like to keep these intros short, so I'm going to move right along to introducing our first speaker, who is Shannon, who's coming to us from TDS Health. Shannon, you ready to take the reins?
I am.
All
Thanks,
right.
Jeff. Go ahead and share my screen. Okay, can you see my screen okay here with StatPearls at the top? Perfect. Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate the introduction and letting me join Taco Tuesday again. It's always happy to be here. For those of you who are not familiar with TDS Health, we've been in the business for well over 30 years, and we partner with various publishers, medical societies, and companies to offer a variety of online healthcare resources, such as our StatRef ebook database, Primal Pictures Anatomy TV, our 3D anatomy resource. We also have some new resources and partnerships this year, including Sentinel U, which is a screen-based simulation product for nursing. DITKey, or Draw It to Know It. It's an educational platform, but for biomedical sciences, as well as nursing, PA, medical students, and neurology residencies. But today I'm excited to focus on StatPearls, which is another one of our new partnerships. Our most recent one actually over the last few months. So a little background of the product itself. StatPearls was developed almost 10 years ago now, and they've been working on creating this product ever since. The two co-founders of this product have been in the business for over 35 years each, and they've created other products over the years, such as e-medicine, which they sold the content to WebMD. So that was the base of the start of the WebMD product. There is nurse.com, continuingeducation.com, CE Direct, Pearls Review, and some others as well. So you're probably familiar with some of the products that they've created in the past. Their goal when they got together was to create this product that covers every clinical topic in medicine, as well as every specialty and subspecialty within medicine. So extremely comprehensive. And as you can imagine, they had their work cut out for him, because that was a huge project they've been working on. So to accomplish this, they've been working with over 8,500 various authors and editors across all specialties and subspecialties in medicine. And they tasked those authors and editors, the authors I should say, with creating an article. And they provided each author a topic. They created their article. Then they created 4 teaching points and 3 to 5 questions to go along with that article. So from this information, they've developed basically 3 different products, and we'll touch on each. Now, I do want to mention that most of the faculty I've talked to have heard of StatPearls or used them in the past, because StatPearls is the #1 content publisher in PubMed with over 30 million views per month. So it's just huge. So the first part of the product I wanted to kind of outline briefly is the point of care or clinical support tool. You can see that kind of here in the middle of the page. It's similar to something like UpToDate. It's laid out very similar to UpToDate. It does cover more medical specialties because, of course, StatPearls is covering every medical topic there is. So as you can see here, there's over 172 medical specialties, and they're getting very close to completing the 10,000 topics that they wanted to cover. So still a work in progress, almost completed. Couple other points to mention on the point of care tool is that they have integrated their drug database, the drug information, as well as their calculator tools. So that's all included within this one product. And then the other thing I wanted to note on this is that using the point of care product, reading articles, performing searches, all provide you with continuing education as well. So you can see at the top of the page, I have 8 CE credits to my name, and that's simply from performing searches, and that's all free when you purchase the point of care resource. So I'm just gonna move on down to the next area, the next part of the product, which is their continuing education platform. They do have over 30,000 accredited peer review activities. They are the largest provider of CE in the world, and they do continue to expand and develop this product as well. So it's for physicians, PAs, NPs, nurses, pharmacists, dentists, social workers, and pretty much everyone. This is being completed right now, so it's not fully available yet, but it will be very, very soon. So we're very excited to be able to provide this resource as well. And lastly, I want to talk about the question bank product. It's more of an educational kind of platform. It's a little more than the typical QBank resource, as not only do you have your standard word style questions, but with every question, there are 4 teaching points, and also you can link back to that evidence-based article. So something I do want to note is that all information within StatPearls is fully evidence-based. They are kind of, their motto is content is king, because they are constantly having their editors, their authors, constantly reviewing the articles, the information, the questions, constantly updating them, and to assure that you have the most current, relevant, and best content available to you. Now, the QBank resource itself covers, there's about 550 QBanks that are meant for kind of programs within the US. So they cover all certifications, boards, board review exams and such. I go to the top of the page. If you want to visit StatPearls, you'll see these drop-down menus. So it's going to allow you to take a closer look at the individual QBanks that are available. As I mentioned, there's 550 of them across physicians for recertification, as well as residency programs and such. There are medical students, so the USMLE, the COMLEX, and they have a total of 95 medical school exams, as well as your nursing exams, 25 in that area, covering all nurse practitioner exams, your RN certifications, and then we have some pharmacy, allied health, including dentistry, which they're still working on to completely develop and should be available soon. So very comprehensive, current, updated, and pretty much covers every specialty and subspecialty in medicine. Now I have 5 more minutes, so I'm just going to jump in real quick and show you the outline of the QBank product. So I'm going to go to the user dashboard. I received so much great feedback from how clean and neat and easy to use this resource is that I just wanted to touch on it real quickly so you could take a look. On the left-hand side, we have drop-down menus for the user to either take the assignments that an instructor or faculty member has sent them, or we have an outline of everything that that student or resident has created on their own. They can create quizzes, they can review their performance, and has some additional capabilities with this as well. So I'm just going to go in here into the quiz builder and quickly create a quiz for you. I just happen to be in the Family Nurse Practitioner Bank. You choose your quiz type, study, open book, meaning you can review all the learning, teaching points and articles after you create or answer every question or the test, which you can't see anything till after. We have question mode, 4 difficulty levels, which is really nice. I get a lot of great feedback on that. And then it gives you a lot of flexibility with creating the quiz on whatever topic you need to. So we can use the sciences, so anatomical or clinical sciences. We also have the ability to enter a search term and pull up every question related to that term. And then the topic search is creating a quiz from the articles and then taking questions from them. So a little bit different than the typical QBank product, some additional features and functionality. I'm just going to choose a couple here. Let's see. And then we come down after we choose our topics and such and name our quiz. You can put a description and then choose how many questions you want to see. You create your quiz. Of course, they're all set up in a board style. You read through and you can answer. Over on the right-hand side, it's going to tell you the last time that this quiz question was updated. So this one was updated earlier this year. It will tell you the author and editor of the question as well. So I'm going to go ahead and read through. The first answer I choose, it's telling me I'm wrong. It will give me the ability in this kind of study mode to choose another answer until I get it correct. However, that first answer will go towards my performance. So I'm wrong. In my analytics, it's going to show I was wrong. Couple neat things. There's some easy tools for highlighting information. You can, cross off the answers are wrong. You have pediatric and lab normals and an integrated calculator. After you've answered your question, you come down and read the teaching points, see how you answered compared to others, and then you can click here to read that full article, which is just going to give them an introduction and all of the information on that topic for some additional study opportunities. So kind of neat, easy to use. Time's out, so I'm just going to go back to the StatPearls interface, but if anyone has interest, I'm available and happy to help. Set up a trial, do a demo, whatever you need, provide more information. I would love to help. I think that's all I had for today, Jeff.
Thank you so much, Shannon. I'm always pleasantly surprised at the new stuff showing up from TDS Health. You've always got something new and exciting to show us. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah. Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate the opportunity and hope to hear from everybody soon.
Our pleasure. Okay, let me, I'm going to share my screen to get us ready for our next presenter. Next up, joining us today from Chronicle of Higher Education is somebody who's new to me. I don't think we've met before, but this is Rosemary O'Connor. Rosemary, maybe? I want to make sure I'm saying your name right.
Rosemary.
Rosemary, thank you so much for joining us today. Are you ready to take the reins and show us something?
Yeah, ready to roll.
Okay, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and let you take over.
All right, here we go. All right, as Jeff mentioned, I'm from the Chronicle of Higher Education, and a little bit about me. I am the Site License Engagement Manager. So what that looks like is making sure that all of the librarians and other folks who manage site license have all the tools that they need, and the site license users know that they have this great tool available. So we're going to go over what's included with your site license access, and then hop on the website and I'll point out exactly where those things are and talk to you about a resource that we just launched this year. So everything on this list is what's included with a Chronicle site license. The one thing I want to highlight here is the Almanac of Higher Education. It's coming out the 2023, 24, or 24, 25, because it's looking ahead. Edition is going to be published on August 18th. And then the other thing I like to highlight is the virtual events. So those are in partnership with sponsors, but we have topics that are great for faculty, staff, admin, everybody. Now you do get access, of course, through both IP and domains. The IP access is for proxy and direct IPs. So that includes everything from the articles folks are seeing, the videos we have available, and the virtual events. Again, that asterisk is because it is sponsored content. And then when folks create an account using their domain, then they can get newsletters and free reports and advice guides. I'll show you where those are. And then we get to also tailor the content based on folks' interests. So some ideas for using the site license for educators, for your faculty members, are those advice guides, and kind of getting the state of higher education, using those events to further their professional development. And then, the good stuff, the news, the articles, the opinions. And then actually in the classroom, it's really helpful tool as well if you want to get folks, engaged in a research project. Your site license access does include access to our archives, which has full issue archives going back to 2015, and some articles going back to 89, with a couple from our early days in the 60s and 70s in there as well. The first 4 topics on this slide probably make a little more sense than IT, but we do publish a lot of content about leveraging student data and how to keep it safe and protected. So that's a great way to engage students on a topic with something that's personal, that's their data. And then finally, for students, we don't get much student usage of the Chronicle. Mostly it's that faculty, staff, and admin. But I think it's a great place to look for examples of student advocacy, do some research on higher ed issues that impact them, and to stay up to date on the state of higher ed. Now we're going to hop on the website and let me do that quick screen share transition. All right, here we go. So easy way to tell when you're on your site license access, either IP or that domain. It's right there in the left corner every time. And the homepage always features the top article that was sent out in Academe today. That's our most popular newsletter. As soon as someone makes an account, those articles are going to get sent to them every day. The virtual events are always on our homepage. I always want to highlight the Chronicle Festival that's coming up. It's 3 days, 3 half days of virtual content from us, totally free to everyone. This professional development resource page just launched this summer, so it has all of the professional development workshops, classes, and easy access things that we put out in one place. And I'm getting to the good stuff down here. This is what I want to highlight. This is the page to access those free reports and guides. So if someone is not logged in, when they click on one of these guys, they're going to get a pop-up message right about here saying, oh my gosh, please create an account. And then you'll get access to this full report. And this report and most of our free reports are either supplemental materials or segments pulled out of our larger reports that are available on the store. And let me go back. The advice guides live on the same page, just underneath. I always like to highlight this guy, how to teach a great first day or a good first day of class, but an easy one for faculty to just, take what they need and reinforce all the good stuff they already do. The other thing is with this newsletter page, I don't know if y'all know, but the Chronicle offers a lot of them. So it's a great place to see what's available, figure out how often you want to get those emails, and then sign up. Easy breezy. I also want to point out on this current issue page, That's where that full archive going back to 2015 exists, and everything else is searchable using this guy right here. The last thing I want to highlight is this librarian resource hub. This is the page we just launched this summer, or no, earlier this year. So there are flyers to promote your site license on campus. We have pre-written social media posts and graphics to go with them to say, hey, everybody, we already pay for this. Isn't it so nice to use it? And then if you all have faculty resource pages, these are links that we recommend. I'll highlight this one here. This page has compiled all of our coverage of the Supreme Court case on race-conscious admissions that came down this summer. And then that professional development page is right here as well. If you ever need anything, this page also has our site license team with all of us. And Kelly Thompson is the one answering your questions when you submit them to sitelicense@chronicle.com. And Ray Farmer is the guy signing contracts, just so you all know. This page is not searchable, so I will be emailing a link over to Jeff to make sure everybody has it. We try to keep this just for librarians and other site license managers. All right, that's the highlights. If anybody has questions.
Thank you, Rosemary. Yeah, we if anybody here in the live session has a question, please do feel free to throw it into the chat or to the Q&A section. We are actually right in the midst of our, I'm not sure if this is true for all consortia, but right in the midst of our renewal cycle with Chronicle of Higher Education. So anybody who's watching this, if you're interested to learn more, of course, reach out. We'll gladly put you in touch with folks there to get you the information you need to decide whether or not to join our group. We've got a pretty substantial group. I can't remember the total number of members, but it's a pretty good number of our members who get their Chronicle access through WiLS.
One thing we are doing with renewals that's new this year is folks can select topics from our editorial tags to pull onto the institutional page for that school. So if you have a high interest in, if there's community colleges on there, then that every article about that will automatically be pulled onto that institutional page.
That's very cool. Very cool indeed.
Yeah.
Well, great. Okay,
Right.
I haven't seen any questions come in, so I guess I'll just renew my offer. If anyone that does have questions, if you're seeing this after the fact or you think of something later, please reach out to us here at WiLS and we'll make sure to put you in touch with the right person. Thanks so much for joining us today, Rosemary.
Thanks so much. Have a good one.
You too. All right, we're going to go back one more time to our start screen before I introduce our third and final presenter for today. So we're a little bit ahead of schedule, but I think as long as you're ready to go, Steve, I'm ready to get us started.
Yes, I'm happy. Hopefully my share screen technology will work when cued to do so, but we will see. I think it's going to work though.
I think it'll be great. All right. Well, without any further ado, then let me introduce Steve Roses joining us from HeinOnline. Steve, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, which should empower you to take over.
Thank you so much, Jeff, for giving us this opportunity. It's always great to do these things. These are so valuable for us, and I hope everyone enjoys them as well. And it's a good opportunity for me to learn about other vendors as well. Okay, so HeinOnline is a research database. You may know that all the, of course, ABA accredited law schools, the 200 law schools throughout the country subscribe. But in recent years, since 2015, we've made HeinOnline so much more multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary, so that hundreds and hundreds of colleges and universities throughout the country subscribe to our HeinOnline Academic package. And many of the WiLS members subscribe to our HeinOnline Academic package. HeinOnline Academic, over 39 databases. We used to just have 39 databases. When we started, it was only 15 databases in HeinOnline Academic. It's a combination of government documents, a combination of full text government documents, full text articles, journals, multidisciplinary journals relating to government, politics, law, but also branching out into areas like as diverse as women's studies, religious studies, and as we will see, also even in things related to the sciences, because there's so much content that is interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary. We've now organized HeinOnline into over 1,500 different subjects. So whether we're talking about something like indigenous peoples, or we're talking about something like water resources, or we're talking about something like conservation, or rivers and streams, etc., you can use HeinOnline to research that, where it's a combination of authoritative and primary sources and secondary sources. So not only would you get things like government documents and including statutes and cases, but you'd also, of course, get journal articles. We also have over 20,000 monographs and treatises, so ebooks, all in this one HeinOnline Academic package. When people actually see the pricing structure of HeinOnline Academic, they're very amazed. Like when people have trials and they say, yeah, but this has got to be too expensive, etc. Well, it turns out, yes, it works like a very expensive database. It has things no other database has. It has content other databases don't have, but it's very, very inexpensive. And then we make it even more inexpensive after the 6-month free trial by giving you a 50% first-year discount on HeinOnline Academic. And just to recap, what is our trial offer? And many of you who subscribe in WiLS will know about this trial offer: 6 months free, unlimited campus-wide access, and of course, remote access as well in the HeinOnline Academic trial. And there's no risk or obligation. We want you to play around with it, see if you like it. If it works for you, consider getting it. If it doesn't work for you, then no problem. You can consider other databases in the future. We're always adding new databases to Hein. So they're, in addition to the staple databases that are in HeinOnline Academic, there are also increasing additional databases you can add. For example, and this is a very hot and timely issue that we wanted you to know about, we have a voting rights and election law database that just came out a few weeks ago. It's available for a one-time fee perpetual access price, so you just add it for one-time fee. It's not a subscription to your HeinOnline Academic. But if obviously there's a big presidential election coming up in 2024, and if you want your students and faculty to be familiar with it, or even if you have a non-academic library, we have many subscribers in public libraries, we have many subscribers in government libraries. So we have all sorts of places that subscribe to voting rights and election law. You're welcome to add it on. I think it's a one-time fee of $495, if my memory serves me correctly, for the one-time fee for perpetual access for voting rights and election law. We just added a whole bunch of Law Library of Congress reports. And this is lots of material on everything from abortion, the law of asylum and immigration, voting, women's rights, gun control, vast range of subject areas. This was added automatically to HeinOnline Academic. There are over 3,800 meticulously crafted reports. So if you're already a subscriber to HeinOnline Academic, as many WiLS members are, you can just access the Law Library of Congress reports. So just be aware of that. We have an ever-growing in HeinOnline Academic military and government collection. We've added a whole new section that the JAG school gave us. So we've had this military and government collection for a while. And by the way, the military and government part of HeinOnline Academic has everything from, Coast Guard, Marines, Navy, Air Force, Army, as well as Department of Defense materials, as well as the Department of Homeland Security, but now also the special materials that were cultivated at the JAG school in Charlottesville, right next to the University of Virginia. And so they let us use all of these materials and add it to the military and government collection. So just be aware of that. We have another collection that's another external collection, not part of HeinOnline Academic, but also available for that inexpensive one-time fee. If you have a lot of students studying things like labor and employment, or the history of the Industrial Revolution, or labor and employment issues in the United States as part of a American history class. They might be interested in looking at the American Worker, Labor and Employment, the collection from HeinOnline. You're welcome to have a free trial of that. If you have HeinOnline Academic, you could get a free trial of Labor and Employment. If you don't have HeinOnline Academic and you get a trial of HeinOnline Academic, you could also get a trial of the Labor and Employment, the American Worker, everything from labor unions to equal employment to minimum wage, lots of hot current issues, but also you can see how some of these issues have affected us in history, and you can look at some landmark cases that affected US history. Once again, this collection, I think it tends to be, it's either $5.95 or $4.95, maybe somewhere in the $3.95 to $5.95 range, depending on the size of the school for the Labor and Employment American Worker. And that's for perpetual access if you're a subscriber to HeinOnline Academic. Another collection also available for a one-time fee. This one is $495 for any customer, perpetual access, water rights and resources. This is outside of HeinOnline Academic, but it complements the HeinOnline Academic subscription a lot. Everything from the Flint water situation in Michigan to water resources and the Clean Water Act, flood and flood control, which is so much of an issue with various climate issues in different states. And I'm sure that Wisconsin is no stranger to those issues as well, just like every state at every place in the world has some weather that is unpredictable. And you can see there's sections on sewers and sewage and water delivery and storage, etc. Over 600,000 pages, 3,000 titles specific to water rights and resources. We added at no additional charge to HeinOnline Academic an LGBTQ rights collection, which has an amazing timeline on the development of the LGBTQ plus movement. And there are new subjects we've added: Don't Ask, Don't Tell, LGBTQ students, HIV/AIDS, criminalization of sex, Supreme Court cases, and more. So this is a really great area. This is not only a free part of HeinOnline Academic, it just was added at no charge, but even if you don't subscribe to HeinOnline Academic, or even if you've never had a trial, or even if you want to have a trial, you can get a free perpetual access to this LGBTQ plus rights, because we have 5 free databases known as the Social Justice Suite. So even if you don't have an interest in getting new databases or HeinOnline Academic, if you have HeinOnline Academic, you already have the 5 free databases that make up the Social Justice Suite. But even if you don't have that, LGBTQ plus rights can be free for you. Just let us know and we can sign up your institution. Key content aspects, we keep adding more and more journals. Every journal on HeinOnline is full text, goes back to issue number 1. So we all the historic content as well as current content. This is 3,200 multidisciplinary journals. And we keep expanding the titles, so we add new journals every single month. But just be aware, we add a few more journals every single month. That happens to be a picture of Trinity University's library, where I have personally been, by the way, one of the most beautiful libraries. We have a JFK assassination collection that's just part of HeinOnline Academic. We want you to know that we've added some additional documents that NARA has recently made available. So if you have any students or faculty, or if your institution has an interest in the JFK assassination or the JFK presidency, you might be interested in seeing these additional documents that the federal government has released that are now part of HeinOnline Academic. Once again, we've expanded the content in the LGBTQ plus rights collection. And once again, it is at no additional charge. If you wanted to get perpetual access to this, you can just sign up for it, even if you don't get HeinOnline Academic. And by the way, we just added all this Williams Institute material on HeinOnline on the LGBTQ plus rights collection. The ALI collection, we keep expanding the content of it. This is an additional collection, but we, just so you know, we keep updating various sub collections to that. We're now KBART endorsed. You must know that we work with various discovery layers, and one of the ways that the discovery layers keep abreast of the constant additions that we're adding to HeinOnline and the new collections, etc., is because we make our feed available to the major discovery layers, and they get our KBART sort files. And so KBART is actually the knowledge-based and related tools, and it's a national information standard. We're an officially endorsed vendor, so just letting you know that we supply when we supply the vendors to the various discovery layers, the materials. We have that National Survey of State Laws 9th edition, which is a wonderful summary. This is by someone from a neighboring state, Rich Leiter from, actually it's not neighboring, but it's another Midwestern state, University of Nebraska. Rich Leiter is there, and he put together the 9th edition of the National Survey of State Laws. Amazing subject by subject look at things. We're constantly going through our session laws library, which is another collection. So those of you that subscribe to our Wisconsin state package are familiar with the session laws for Wisconsin. We have recently indexed them to the chapter and act level. Just be aware of that. We have a World Constitutions illustrated part of HeinOnline Academic. It has the constitution of every major country in the world, even historical documents from them, even translated into multiple languages. So if you're in an academic institution and you have a professor going abroad, for example, to France for a semester, and they want to take a look at the English translation of the French Constitution, boom, HeinOnline is the way to do it. It's right in our HeinOnline Academic package under World Constitutions. We have another collection called IFLP, Index of Foreign Legal Periodicals, that you're welcome to get. We have a new feature which allows you to have alerts. We're going to be adding some interesting things to our My Hein interface. If you subscribe to HeinOnline, you might be aware that we have a bookmarking tool called My Hein, which allows every individual user of a subscribing place to get a My Hein profile, their own unique My Hein profile for free, and they can save their own documents. So a student can save their documents. A student who goes to the University of Wisconsin can save specific documents. Another professor can save specific documents. They can rerun their table of contents, their query searches. They can get table of contents alerts. And we keep making My Hein and My Hein more and more valuable. You may have seen we have, let's see how much time I have. Oh, I have a few more minutes, right? Pathfinder, great tool that we added that allows you to look at HeinOnline Academic from an interdisciplinary level and see the different subjects, not only in government, politics, and law, but even in areas like applied sciences, humanities, industry. So there's even a business element, natural and formal sciences, and the social sciences. We've organized things, and we want you to be able to attack your research in HeinOnline through many different disciplines. We've increased, you might know it as filtering, or we call it faceting. When you're doing searching on HeinOnline, there are a whole bunch of facets you can use to narrow in on your search. So we've now added all sorts of new ways to even get to finer and finer detail in terms of jurisdiction, in terms of narrowing down the search by an organization, or by even some of our documents are from different languages. You can narrow down by language. We've just made it able to do it on a finer and finer level. We want you to know about our HeinOnline resources. We still have that HeinOnline blog. The feedback is it keeps getting better and better. Anyone can sign up for the HeinOnline blog. We have a YouTube channel. Just Google YouTube and HeinOnline. Great videos on using HeinOnline. Great insights in the best way to research on HeinOnline. We have free LibGuides for you on virtually every major collection in HeinOnline Academic and even outside of HeinOnline Academic. You're welcome to use our LibGuides on your own A to Z website. Or you could take our LibGuides and add to them. But we want this to be a tool for you to get the most out of HeinOnline. And finally, we have a knowledge base that allows you to ask questions, get some additional videos, but even, for example, if you have our questions on our accessibility guidelines, definitely ask us, go onto knowledge base and look for searching that way. And of course, we're on all sorts of social media. And just to emphasize it, whether we're talking about Twitter, even under a different name, I think Twitter just changed its name, but we work with Twitter, Facebook, or Meta, of course, LinkedIn we work with, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. So We're on all of those, just be aware of that. And now that said, it is pretty much almost the end of things, but I wanted to leave some time for questions. So if anyone has any HeinOnline questions, please let me know.
Ooh, Steve, you always have so much to share. There's always so much going on at HeinOnline. I'm always impressed at what's new and the
I probably could have like just gone with the highlights, but I just came from another conference where we really went into finite detail. And I feel like there's so many things to mention. I wanted to really mention a lot of it. I hope it wasn't overwhelming, but we'd be happy to answer any questions and sort of unpack anything that I mentioned.
I didn't think it was too much. I think it's an impressively large array and variety of topics and resources that subscribers can get access to. I think I've said this every time you're on. I'm always like, my eyes are always widened at the breadth of what this platform has become just in the short time that we've been associated with each other. So I'm really impressed.
Yeah, and we love keeping you guys updated, and just keep letting us know when the different Taco Tuesdays are, and we'll be back. So
great. Well, I haven't seen any questions come in yet, but as I've said previously in this session, if anybody thinks of a question, or if you're watching this recording after the fact and think of something that you wanted to hear a little bit more about, please feel free to reach out to us. We'll also include Steve's contact information in our kind of outgoing communication about this session, and you can always find information about HeinOnline or any of our vendor partners on the WiLS.org website too. So
thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Jeff. Everyone have a wonderful day too.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you so much for joining us. All right, so that kind of brings us to the close of our session for today. I'm just going to bring us to our kind of wrap up slide here. Thank you to all three of our presenters today for bringing us great information about three very cool platforms and resources. Well, many resources on several different platforms from three of our vendor partners today. And thank you to those of you who attended live, for those of you who are watching the recording now after the fact. As always, we're going to be doing another Taco Tuesday 2 weeks from today, on August 22nd, 2023. You can sign up now for that one or any of our Taco Tuesdays from now until the end of the year. So we've got a full slate of presenters ready to go from now until the end of 2023. So we hope you'll sign up and join us to learn more about all of our great WiLS vendor partners. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you have a great afternoon. Bye.